Welcome back to Work Hard RC, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new FMS FCX24M. This is the licensed Toyota Tacoma. I'm excited about this. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. All right, so it seems like the RC industry keeps hitting us with so many great releases, from the SCX30 to the Ascent 32, and now FMS with the 124 scale Toyota Tacoma. I know a lot of folks have been asking different manufacturers to release something like this with the Tacoma body, and FMS has obliged us. So let's go ahead and take a look what's in the box. Now, we did get the red color. Now, I picked this up from Fair RC. I'll have a link in the description for you guys to pick one of those up, with as we are one of their affiliates. As far as the box, it's pretty typical of what you can see, or what you usually see from FMS, with the image of the Tacoma there. As we come along the side, you can see the different colors. You can see it comes in gray, red, and in blue. I would have probably liked the gray just because I have a 4Runner in gray, but given the red was in stock, I got it within 2 days of ordering, and red is my favorite color. It just made sense. In the rear, you do have some information about FMS, and you get another rear end shot of the Tacoma. You also get pictures on the other side of all three of the vehicles, and flip it around, you get the specs and dimensions of the Tacoma. But let's go ahead and open this up and take a look what's in the box. Now, this is ready to run. It does come with a LiPo battery, but it does not come with the batteries for the transmitter, so just know that. So let's go ahead and open this up. Once we have it all opened up and see what's inside, we'll take a closer look at the truck itself. But in here we have, looks like our charger. We do have some Allen wrenches in here as well to get to all the screws and get them adjusted or removed if we need. We have our charger right here. Looks like we have a different grille, and we have a Toyota emblem. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at it a little bit closer. So this looks like it is more than likely a bumper. I'm going to take a look at that here a little bit closer, but I think that's a bumper there. And then we do have a different grille that we can change out. And then we have a Toyota sticker. I don't want to mess with this too much because I will be putting that on, but we do have that right there, similar to what you guys saw on our LC80 that we just opened up here. If you guys haven't checked out that video, we do have the Fair RC tricolor, and we do love that. We took it out to an event this last weekend. Really gets a lot of attention. It does look beautiful. You also get a Phillips screwdriver there. Looks like we have a spur gear in here, is metal. We'll have to see how many teeth are on that and what is installed to see if that makes a difference, if it's an upgrade, or maybe there's a plastic spur gear in there. We'll take a look at that later. We have our T-wrench there for the wheels and different nuts, and then we have a QC little card in there for whoever quality control checked this, which so far so good. Looks like everything's in there that we need. So that's in that bag there, and then further in the box we have our transmitter, which is very similar to what you've seen in other vehicles that FMS has released. Nothing too different there. And then we have, of course, the compartment for the batteries. So it doesn't come with the batteries for this, but we will get those installed in order to test this out. So let's go ahead and get into the truck, which I'm sure everybody's waiting for. I know I am. All right, and nothing else in the box. Well, that looks beautiful. You guys can't see it yet. We have her instruction manual right there. Let's go ahead and give you guys a quick top view of the Toyota Tacoma. Now, this is completely licensed by FMS, or by Toyota from FMS, so you get to enjoy all of those nice details from the scale Toyota. Let's go ahead and open this up. See if we don't cut anything in here that we need. All right, got it opened up there. And looks like we have some zip ties, my best friends. Let's go ahead and get those clippers here. And that should make quick work of these zip ties. Looks like we have 4 of them. I don't remember if they were always as secure. Oh, it looks like just 2. Okay. We have 2 of them. There it is. Let's see what else is in here. I think that's it. All right. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And let's take a look at this 1/24 scale Toyota Tacoma. There it is with the plastic on. Let's go ahead and take that off. That red does look nice with that black fenders. The rack in the rear, tires. There it is. The FCX24M Toyota Tacoma. I know a lot of us have been waiting for this truck. Some guys have the older models. Some guys have them 3D printed. But FMS did it better with the licensed hard body molded Tacoma. Very nice. Gonna make for some great Taco Tuesdays. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set this down, take a closer look at it, take it apart, see what's all inside. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so I have the battery charging. I went and took it out. I opened up the Tacoma already. It is closed and held together with a Velcro strip here on the hood, and then it has a hinge that opens up just like that. But before we go too much further into that, I wanted to first quickly go over some of the features and size comparisons to some other vehicles. I'll first go over this compared to an SCX24 of other brands such as Axial. So I want to do that real quick. So this is the 4Runner you guys have seen, and then this is the Tacoma. I know a lot of folks are dying to see how they differ in size. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those two real quick, just kind of what it looks like between the Tacoma and the SCX24. So I'm doing it like that so you can kind of see the wheelbase, what that looks like. Now, of course, this is modified and custom, but you can kind of see where the bodies kind of end and begin when they're side by side. I had some folks ask me when I get it to do a comparison. So there's that comparison. You can see the difference between the two. If I were to put it rearview mirror to rearview mirror, you kind of see again the difference between the two. So just notate that if you guys wanted to see about what size, or if you could fit something like this on your current model, just know this is a tad bit bigger than your average SCX24. But looking at this for what it is beautiful. You do see the interior, very nicely done by FMS. Now this red does kind of have like a metallic sheen to it. I'm not sure if I can capture it very well on the camera. You see there it does have the Toyota insignia, the Toyota written there in the front grille. Now I did mention it does come with another grille that just has the Toyota emblem, so you can switch that out. And then the other bumper doesn't have this bar here, so you can switch it out if you wanted something a little more plain, but I do like that there with the mock winch hole. So if you wanted to add a winch, you probably couldn't, but it looks like it would take one. So very nice attention to detail there. And then as you come along, you see the fenders, and then you have the wipers there, if you can get a good look at the window wipers with the rear view mirrors. As we come along the side, you see the molded handles with Tacoma decal on the side. On the top, you do have the ridges there with the antenna, which is a pretty cool detail as well. It has the antenna on there. And then you go back a little bit further and you see that nice rack there. And that's just plastic. In the instructions, it shows how it all comes apart. And then you have a nice little graded piece on top to put your luggage, to put anything else you need up there. And then you do have a molded bed in the rear. And then you do have your lights as well. Now, I didn't see wiring running to the rear. Let me double check. Yeah, there's no LEDs in the rear tail lights, but you do have them in the headlight. So just notate that. We'll take a look at that as well. Now, in the back, you do see that it does have the Tacoma recessed in the bumper, just like the road truck, with the black handle there. I want to say it does have the keyhole. It kind of looked like it was silver, but it's not. It's just kind of that glare. I guess you can kind of see it like that in the camera. Kind of looks like there's silver for the keyhole, but it's not. It's all black. Very nice looking there with a nice molded bumper. Now these tires are pretty small in comparison to other upgrades that I'm sure everybody has seen, but they do make upgrades already either from FMS, Batrazzi with FRC has some as well. These do have foam in the tires, but they're not beadlocks. So if I wanted to, I can actually just take these off, and I'll take one of them off real quick to show you guys. Now there are upgrades you can buy for the tires, like I mentioned, and you can see they're not beadlocks, but if you had, I want to say they're 0.08. I have to double check on that. They do have a little bit of foam on the inside. I'll show you guys that here. Very small piece of foam on the inside of the tires with these are the Marsher FMS tires there. Now, just by chance, I do have a few other vehicles coming from FRC. I have the entire collection of the Land Rovers coming, and I do have upgraded wheels for those. So ideally, what I'm going to do is just test fit those wheels when I get them to see how they fit before I order some of the Batrazzi aluminum wheels with the brass weights and the tires to go along with this Tacoma. Now, I was just going to go ahead and order them, but I figured since I have those coming, they'll be here in a few days. I'll just go ahead and test fit them, then I'll order the appropriate ones because Batrazzi does have some cool options as far as wheels and tires. I'll know that they fit, and I can order the appropriate size. So that's going to be pretty exciting when those come in. I got this tire back, or one side of it. They are not beadlocks, but the ones we have coming in are beadlocks. So if those fit, again, I'll be getting some of those on order. Let's see if I can get this back on here without having too much trouble. Just about there. Now, in this video, I'm just going to keep everything stock. We're going to test run it in its stock form, and we're going to leave the tires, everything stock. In the next coming videos is when we'll be doing some upgrades, and if you guys haven't already, follow us on Instagram. You'll see all the upgrades there as well as we go along and add them. We'll have them on our Instagram, so you guys can check them out there. Or just subscribe, you guys can check them out here. So, wheels, a little bit of foam in there, very nice. Let's go ahead and open this up. You do have a metal chassis. And I'm not sure if you can see it on this side, but just behind that shock, you see the FMS written just behind it on the metal chassis. This is that Velcro mount I was telling you about that the hood attaches to right here in the front, and then you have the hinge in the rear. And then you have this piece here just to kind of keep everything secure on the chassis. Would be a bumper right there. You do have a small servo. I'm not sure which servo this is, but it's pretty standard in FMS. It does have that servo saver there in the front. You guys can see that with a little spring in there. It does have straight axles all the way around, so these are not portals. And you do have your drive shafts there. You have a 2-in-1 ESC. Now, I did notice here that the button to turn this on and off is a little bit different from another model that I have here on the table, and I'll show you guys that now. As you see right here, kind of where that exposed metal is, right below that is the button to turn it on and off. So, looks a little bit different than what I'm used to, but when it's closed, you can turn it on and off without having to open it or really have to reach. That button's right there. Just turn it on and off. That's pretty convenient, so pretty cool there. That feature is available. This is a 50 motor. This is the Power Dash FMS motor. Now I tested it real quick before I started this portion of the video, and it's pretty surprising. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. You do see the 2-speed transmission with the servo there that allows you to switch between the low and the high gear. That's really cool. Again, I already took a look at it real quick, and I'll show you guys on the camera. But it's actually really nice. It has a really nice high gear and low gear, and even though it's not brushless, you can see just from me pulling the trigger on the transmitter how smooth it is. So we'll see how that goes on our course. But again, just from testing it real quick, it does look very smooth. On the axles, they are oil filled, and you do have the ability to adjust the location of the axles, which is pretty nice when you have the shock towers here. I'm sorry, not the axles, the shocks, oil filled shocks with adjustable towers here. So you can adjust those towers, adjust the ride height, and adjust the ability to mount those shocks however you like to a certain extent. But very nice that FMS included that ability to adjust those shocks. Now, I know you guys are probably looking at this little foam brick here. That's to hold the battery in place. It is a 2S 7.4 volt battery. I have my controller on. Let's turn this guy off real quick. So if you're beeping at me, I'm going to install the battery now since it is charged. And I'll show you what that foam does. Like I mentioned, it does hold the battery in place. Go ahead and plug that in. So being that it's a small battery and that tray is there, the battery doesn't fit too well. Let's see if I can do this. If I were to do it more horizontal like that, it kind of slides around. So that foam being there allows that battery to stay in place should you fall or tumble. Just know that that's there. If you do decide to put a larger battery and mount it differently, you can definitely do that. But that foam, on the most part, should stay there so that you can adjust or you can have it in nice and secure as far as your battery. So internally, very clean, straightforward. And then you see that hinge with the wire that goes into the headlight. So let's go ahead and turn this on real quick. And we'll take a look at the lights. And again, that switch is on the bottom. Turn the controller on there. And we're going to push the button here on the bottom. And let me see if we have everything we got. Let's see, maybe we didn't get this turned on. All right, we got power there. Now, let me see if there's a light switch here. Because the lights are not on. I don't see a different channel for the lights, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see how we turn those on. I'm assuming I'm probably just missing something, but it is on. I'm going to go ahead and right now we have it in. So this is going to be the low gear, and I'm just going to do a really nice, slow, smooth crawl. And again, this is brushed, so pretty smooth for brushed. And it's going to be all the way down on the throttle on low gear. So whether you need that for yourself if you're crawling, or if you have younger kids who are playing with the Tacoma, you can kind of set it to that low gear, and they won't bash it up too much, hopefully. My daughters always love to go fast. They like that Ricky Bobby. And this is the high gear right here. So a lot faster. And I can still kind of get it to go slow. Not as slow, but still pretty smooth. And let's go ahead and turn this over, put it back. You can hear that servo adjusting the gear there. And I see those drivetrain right there kind of do its thing. So very nicely done as far as the tech inside of this. I'm going to take it out here to test run it on our course. Now we're going to be using our trailer course that you guys have seen in all of our videos. We do have a course from Mountain Blocks that we're going to be testing our vehicles on here in the near future. We have that coming to us. And as soon as it gets here, we'll do a quick video on that, do an entire rundown on how that works, and then we'll be running our cars on that course and really having the ability to give it a good test in different functionality as far as flex, as far as durability if it falls down, as far as the just everything as far as testing the shock. So that course will really help us get a good level platform as far as how we test our RC cars in this scale. That will be available in 124 and 118 scale. And I do have a 1/18 scale FMS out, so you can kind of, again, see the size comparison. Now, a lot of folks say that the FMS FCX24 and the FCX18 are the same. And I can see why they would say that, because if you're looking at these two guys here, the 18, which is the Land Cruiser, and the 24, which is Tacoma, they're just about the same size as far as the bodies. So being this is a Land Cruiser and this is a truck, the truck would probably be a little bit bigger maybe than the Land Cruiser in real life, but here in this scenario, they're about the same length. And the actual true length of this one is 253 millimeters on this, and you have a ground clearance of 30 millimeters on the Tacoma, and it's 105 millimeters wide. So like I showed you before with the other brand, you can kind of see. Now this one's modified, obviously, but we're just looking at the body since I don't have a stock body to compare it to, but those are the two right there. The truck is significantly bigger. And as far as the fender wells, I would be hard-pressed to try to get this truck body to fit onto this other platform here. This is a Nacho chassis, so, and again, the wheel comparisons. But the Tacoma is beautiful. I do appreciate the licensing. Always a fan of when a company licenses, they're always able to do a lot of details for other cars, or for those cars that certain companies cannot if it's not licensed. So very nice. I'm going to have to figure out these lights. Let me see if I can figure these out now and why my lights are not working. Usually I have a switch on my controller, and I don't have a switch on this one, or a button, which is interesting. All right, I see this switch here for LED, but no. I guess we can always look at the instructions. Let's see if that gives us any hope here. Let's go over to the controllers. Now, I do see in the instruction manual that it does have the spur gear number here, which is C3756 on the manual. I'm going to look that up to see what it comes with installed and what this other spur gear is for. Perhaps if the one inside is plastic, maybe that's the case, and this one I have is metal, and maybe they allow us to upgrade that. So, but let's see if we have any additional button for. So 6 is LED, which is, nope, that's just the LED. We have a switch for lights, trim, bind button. Maybe I just need to watch somebody else's video and see if they could tell me how to turn the light on. Let me see. LED is 5 there. I have to see that here. Let's see if we follow that down a little bit. See, because the lights do turn on as I switch this on and off. Turn on briefly. There. So you can see the lights do work. It's just when I have it on, I want to say I should be able to turn it on with the controller, or the transmitter, but I don't see a button. And I don't think I'm missing it, so I'll figure that out. Let's go ahead and take this guy out, give it a test run, have some fun, and then we'll start the mods in the next video. Just wanted to come back real quick. After some careful studying of this nice little manual here, I did find that the way to turn on the headlights is by using the bind button on the transmitter. So if I push that button that says bind, as long as your car is connected already to the controller, it'll turn those nice, beautiful headlights on. So again, push that bind button, it turns them off. Push that bind button, and it turns them back on. So very nicely done. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but the price point on this is $129.99. Now, at the initial launch, they were $99. I'm not sure how long that'll stay in place. It might be over already, but $129.99 for this. So far, from the looks and from the feel of it, from the old shocks to the metal chassis to the wheels to pretty much all the detail on the interior, the lights, the licensing, it looks like it's pretty holding its value as far as $130. So let's go ahead and test it out right now outside on our course, have some fun, and see how it really does. All right, we have our Tacoma ready to go. Trying to get some of that lighting there a little bit better so you can see that metallic sheen that it has on it. Very nice. So right now I have it in low gear. Let's see how it is in low gear. Just gonna hit the throttle right there all the way down. That's low gear. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like in high gear. Alright. A lot faster. But for the purpose of our course, we're going to keep it in low gear. Let's go ahead and give this guy a test run. See what it's capable on our course. It'd more likely be more of a trail truck in its current setup, but let's see if it can make it through any of our obstacles here. So far, so good. Imagine we're going to get hung up right here, so let's maneuver past this. Let's see how it goes coming down here. Very good, it came down. No problem there. Alright. We lost some of our grip on these obstacles because it did rain pretty hard. I think it'll make this. I hit a little bit of speed. Looks like we're stuck. Let's see if we can get some speed, put that other gear in there. Launched it. It did make it, but it launched itself pretty good. Let's see. Alright. It's not built for this, but alright, made it. Alright, let's put that low gear back on. Get a little bit of thrust there, throttle. Now let's see if this is wide enough to fit through here. No. So let me set this down on the side. Just because it's not quite wide enough to fit through there. Put it on the bridge. Imagine it'll get hung up here, but let's go ahead and try it out anyways. Oh, made it. Nice. Alright, not too shabby there. Swing around to the other side. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just come around this side over here. We're going to take it up our nice steep incline there. I got to check, I know I say this all the time, I do got to check how steep that really is. Alright, maybe over that, no problem. Again, if you guys watch any of our videos, you can see other cars who struggle in some of these obstacles and features on the course, so it kind of gives you a good comparison to say, oh, you know what, that particular brand couldn't make it over that obstacle, but this car can, so kind of gives you a good line of how this does against other vehicles. So far so good. Now, it's not a crawler by any means, but on our course it's making it through pretty decent. And again, this is a brushed motor. Still pretty smooth for being brushed. I gotta give it that. That bumper more than likely is gonna touch there. Alright. Made it up. Let's see if it doesn't flip over here. More than likely it will. Oh no, maybe. Oh, and he flipped. Alright, I'm gonna grab that guy. It's pretty close, and almost did make it. So, just about there. Maybe with a little bit of weight on those tires, it would have made it, but no problem. I'm surprised he even made it that far. Let's see how it does coming up. Not really any problem there either. Oh, hung up there. That's gonna happen. Let's go this way. Right here is where that issue was last time. So with the shocks being adjusted and a little bit of weight, I think, on those tires will eliminate some of those issues there. Now I have some ideas as far as upgrades I want to do, and like I said, I have some Batrazi wheels and tires coming in for another model that'll fit this, just to test. They're going to be yellow, so I won't really go with the red, but definitely will try them on and see how it does with those tires. And if it does well, then I'll order some nice ones that match this Tacoma. I do like the red, very nice. Let's take them all around. Alright, now I lost some of the coating I had on this from the rain, but we'll see if this guy can make it up. First try, no, oh, I was gonna say no problem, but a little bit of problem coming up right there. Bottoming out. So get a little bit of gas, put the other gear in. Doesn't have much of a drag brake when it gets to the butt with that extra gas. Let's do that again. It didn't make it, but I don't know if I got it all on camera, so let's try that again. Get some gas going up, get a little bit of gas right at the end, it pops it over, no. Alright, my bad. Alright, over here, it didn't make it, now I'm just going to show for the camera, so, oh no. I guess I'll have to go back and see if I got it that first try, if not, yeah, this is all for nothing. There we go. Put it back in that low gear. So it is capable of making it up very easily. Alright, let's come down the bridge. This shouldn't be too big of an issue for it. And again, I am very impressed by how smooth it is, given it's a brushed motor. and all stock. So, fix it there. Cool. Nice. Pretty good run. Again, if you guys want to pick one of these up, I will have it in the description. The red one at this very moment is in stock. I got it within 2 days. I ordered it from Fair RC. I'll link that in the description. Hope you guys like this video. We'll see you guys next time. Please remember to subscribe and comment if you guys have any questions or to support the channel. We'll see you guys next time.